Welcome to Funcraft. My name is Andreas, and yeah, I just bought a 100-year-old house, the one right behind me. In this video, we will have a bit of everything, all from fixing the kitchen sink and the drawer as well. We will also be making a cutting board. We will do some work on the driveway and also installing an induction cooking stove. So all in all, I hope you will enjoy this video and don't be scared of my very strong Danish accent. Live in Denmark, bought this house in Denmark, and this house has actually been like the front of it has actually been like a station for a train that moved along right here to the capital of Denmark. But that was over 100 years ago, and now it's my house. But just before moving on with the fixes and the small stuff, I want to show you around, get you an introduction to the property and all of its features and my dreams for the future. And I also have to state that this is not a how-to channel at all. It's look at me, I'm doing stuff that I don't know how to do, so great. So you just saw the main house before, and this is another house. I didn't buy two houses, but this is the workshop that I'm going to be in most of the time, I think. And I really have a dream, a big dream of building into the dream workshop. Yeah, so I'm not only going to dream about it, I'm also going to have a dream workshop that is not only a dream, but is actually reality. So, but let's take a look inside. This is my workshop, as you can see, and it's a really cool place. A lot of stuff from the previous owners that I need to clean out, but we have this big room for a lot of activities here. We also have a smaller room just down here, and in here we actually have a space that is, I think, more well insulated that I can sit in, and I want to turn into like this place where I do all sort of electronic stuff. And then out here in the big workshop area, I want to turn into this woodworking shop. And then just behind you, we actually have a big wall. If you can see that, yeah, we have a big wall. And on the other side, there's another room. Here you can see, if I place you over in the corner, we have another room here with some really, really big doors. It's a big door that goes to the ceiling. This was an old like shed for building boats, but as you can see here, there has been filled with concrete, so there's no hole anymore, which is, I guess, good enough for me. But I really want to turn this place into like where I work with metal maybe, or something like that, if I ever dare to do that. But it could be fun to try. I guess my introduction has already gone for too long, so let's just jump into the fixes already. And let's start by looking at the kitchen drawer and the kitchen sink. So I started this kitchen fix-up by tackling the large drawer under the sink, as you can see. And the problem here was the old drawer slides. And replacing them was actually pretty straightforward. I just unscrewed the old rails, attached some new ones, and then the door slides smoothly again. I had some new slides just lying around for old closet, so that was pretty cheap. I didn't have to buy anything for it. But while I was under the sink, I noticed a few other issues. So I knew I had some more work ahead of me, but I hoped it could wait until a later date. But then this happened. So as you can see, I needed to wash some dishes, but when I went to turn on the water, yeah, this happened. It just broke off, it just fell off. I think it's very crusty and old. So unfortunately, my job here is not done. Need to take the drawer off again. So if we take a look, there are some other problems. One of them, some paper towels down here, because we have a leak right from here. It's kind of nasty around here, so I have to fix that. And then I tried to turn off the water, but this one on the left, the hot water valve, is when I close it, it begins to drip when I close it, you can see it's just start flowing out. And yeah, I need to disassemble all of this to get this one off, to actually seal this one, because we also have a leak right here. Yeah, and then last step is actually to replace this. I actually wanted to replace the stop valve for the hot water myself, but here in Denmark there are specific rules about what work you can do on your own and what has to be done by an authorized plumber. And since this job involved the main water supply, I had to call in a professional. The plumber started by trying a straightforward replacement. Usually you just shut off the water, remove the old valve and install a new one. But we quickly realized the valve was only fastened to the drywall. That meant we didn't have enough support to loosen it without risking damage. So we ended up having to make an access hole in the wall to properly grip the pipe and replace the valve securely. For the other kitchen repairs, it was pretty simple. I took everything apart, gave the components a good clean, and then reassembled them with a new faucet. It's a great feeling when you can tackle some of these projects yourself, but it's also important to know when to call the right people. Now, I got a fully functional setup and a happy partner that loves the new faucet. Cool, one job done. Let's move on to the next thing, and I think we should take a break and then start shoveling some sand. The reason why I'm digging sand is to cover up these potholes in my gravel driveway. I'm using sand simply because that is what I have on hand. But I shoveled sand into these holes, making sure to overfill them slightly, then patted everything down. Now, sand is of course a short-term fix. It helped smooth out the ride for a while, but for longer lasting repair, I want to use gravel that matches the rest of the driveway. Eventually, regrading the surface and adding a fresh layer of gravel can help prevent future holes and keep it looking brand new. In the meantime, this quick patch should do the trick and get rid of those jargon bumps. Before we bought the house, I was attending an auction and I bought a fridge and I bought a induction stove or induction cooktop or whatever it's called. And we really wanted it to fit. We had no measurement, but I just bought it because we got it very cheap there. And luckily it all turned out good. So let me show you how it went. We are also saying goodbye to the old gas stovetop and making the switch to an induction stove. The main reason? Well, it is what my partner wanted, and to be honest, it just feels safer. In Denmark, there are rules about where the gas flask can be stored, typically requiring this cylinder or gas supply to be located outside the living areas. Since my gas flask was underneath the stovetop inside the house, it was time for a change. I had some help from my girlfriend's dad, and together we used a router to adjust the countertop, making room for the new induction unit. It took a bit of careful measurements and some patience, but we finally got it to perfect fit. I also tackled the electrical side of things myself. With induction stoves, it is crucial to ensure you have the correct power supply. In my case, I verified we had two phases, a neutral and a ground. Safety comes first, so of course, if you are ever unsure, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. But there you have it, a brand new induction stove installed safely and ready to use. However, we did later encounter a problem with how it is installed, and I want to tackle that problem in another video. So right now I'm pretty sick of the kitchen, so let's move out to the workshop and actually do some fun things. I've always dreamt of making a cutting board. I don't know why, but let's try it. I stumbled upon some scrap wood left by the previous owners and thought, why not try making a cutting board? It was one of those fun projects I always wanted to do, even though I never tried it before. But I learned some new things along the way, and I also need to work on my patience when I'm working with wood. But it was a blast getting my tools out and using them once again. There's something really satisfying about taking a few offcuts and turning them into something both functional and personal. Sure, I'm still figuring it all out as I go, but that's part of the fun. In the end, I ended up with a big cutting board that definitely has its own personality. You can tell it's homemade, but I love that look. It has a very nice warmth to it and maybe a few imperfections that give it character. That was actually the last thing that I wanted to show in this video. We have been living here for almost a month now. I think 3 weeks have we lived here, so not long, and we are still getting used to living here. This is my first video on the channel, like a whole video, and I really hope that you liked it. If you did, please subscribe, leave a comment, click the like button, give me some feedback on what you think. Please don't mention my Danish accent. This will just be a feature of the channel. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.